Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello. Today we are going to present about life cycle assessment of Batik Encim in Pekalongan. First of all, let me introduce our team. First is Rian Rahman, and second is Muhammad Yuda Prakoso. Third it's me, Nabila Putri Dinata. Fourth it's Dwi Vanessa Salsabila, and last is Regina Gracia. For the background, batik is an Indonesian cultural heritage whose production include waste application, dyeing, and waste removal. All of that is need water, energy, and chemical substances. Impact categories arising from the batik engine production process is freshwater ecotoxicity, marine ecotoxicity, terrestrial ecotoxicity, global warming, human non-carcinogenic toxicity, and less water consumption. The life cycle assessment method is used to evaluate the environmental impact totaled by the entire life cycle of batik, thereby encouraging the development of more environmentally friendly production practice. For the functional unit, this batik encim production as one production batch equivalent to 10 pieces of batik encim, which is 2.5 kilograms. All calculation of eco cost, net value, and eco efficiency are then expressed per single piece of batik encim to facilitate the analysis.
Okay, this slide 5 of process production of batik encim. This slide illustrates the production process of batik encim. The process begins with fabric cutting, followed by waxing, dyeing, color fixing, wash, and drying. Each stage requires specific materials such as wax, dyes, water, and energy. The detailed process flow is important for identifying material input, output, and potential environmental impact at its production stage. Next, okay, this slide of topic and study case. The study focus on measure the eco-efficiency level of batik cap production using the life cycle assessment method and the water footprint approach. The case study is conducted in Kampung Batik Kauman, Pekalongan, which is one of the large batik village with approximate 30 small and medium enterprise. Next, this slide is cradle to gate analysis. This slide explains to cradle to gate system boundary used in this study. The analysis covers the production stage from raw material input until the finished batik encim. Product leave the production facility. Process include are fabric cutting, waxing, dyeing, color fixing, washing, and drying. The gate to gate process are analyzed in detail to capture environmental impact occurring within the production system. Next, the slide 8, goal and scope. The goal of this study is to identify the environmental impacts and environmental costs or eco costs of the batik encim production process in Kampung Batik Kauman. In addition, the study aims to calculate the eco-efficiency level of batik production using the life cycle assessment approach. The scope of the study includes all production stages from inputs such as cotton fabric, wax dye, water, and firewood to outputs such as finished products, wastewater, wax residue, and firewood waste. The slide 9, life cycle inventory analysis. This slide presents the first part of the life cycle inventory analysis. It shows the material and energy inputs and output for the fabric cutting, waxing, and dyeing preparation stage. The inventory data include the quantity of cotton fabric, wax, dyes, and water use, as well as the mass of intermediate products generated. This inventory data is essential for quantifying environmental impacts in the next assessment stage. Next, slide 10, the life cycle inventory analysis. This slide continues the life cycle inventory analysis for the subsequent production stage. It includes color fixing, primary dyeing, and waxing process, along with the corresponding material and water consumption. The outputs consist of dyeing fabric, wastewater, and residual material. This inventory results provide comprehensive overview of resource use and emissions throughout the batik encim production process.
Okay, this slide presents the life cycle inventory data for the second dyeing process, blow root and soap washing. The second dyeing stage uses the synthetic dye such as naphtol, diazonium salt, The ngulurut process requires the firewood, soda ash, the soap washing in condition to clean the fabric before the next production stage. Okay, next. Okay, this slide shows the life cycle inventory for the washing and drying stage. The first and second washing process mainly consume water, while the drying process does not require additional material input. The final output, the text is finishing batik enzyme fabric. Although this process seems simply, they still contribute to water use and environmental load within the production system. Next. Okay. In these slides, explain the environmental impact category and assessment method used in this study. The main impact categories include the terrestrial ecotoxicity, human non-carcinogenic toxicity, global warming potential, freshwater ecotoxicity, marine ecotoxicity, and water consumption. All impact calculated were conducted using the OpenLCA software. Okay, next. In this slide, describe the data collection procedure applied in this life cycle assessment study. Primary data were collected from batik enzyme production activity in Kampung Batik Kauman. Third file observation, interview with craftsman and business owner, and direct recording of material and energy use. Secondary data were obtained from scientific literature, previous studies, environmental report, and the developed dataset of SIMAPRO version. Next. In this slide, present the environmental impact result for each production process. The results show that the dyeing process contribute the high impact, particularly in human toxicity, ecotoxicity, and water consumption categories. The ngulurut process also show a significant contribution due to high energy and water use. Overall, the result help identify environmental hotspot in batik enzyme production, which can be priority for the improvement strategies.
Next is chart impact of each process. It can be seen that the impact of water consumption is dominant. For the impact of freshwater ecotoxicity, the most impactful is first coloring. Next, for the impact of global warming, the most impactful is ngulurut. For the impact of human non-carcinogenic toxicity, the most impactful is first coloring. Next, for the impact of marine ecotoxicity, the most impactful is first coloring. Next, for the impact of terrestrial ecotoxicity, the most impactful is first coloring. And for the impact of water consumption, the most impactful is second wash. Next, life cycle interpretation. Besides on the complete inventory data, the impact categories analysis include freshwater ecotoxicity, global warming potential, human non-carcinogenic toxicity, marine ecotoxicity, terrestrial ecotoxicity, and water consumption. The analysis result indicated the dyeing process is the large contribution to impact across nearly all toxicity-related categories, affecting freshwater ecosystem, marine ecosystem, terrestrial ecosystem, and human health. Meanwhile, the wax removal or ngulurut process is the main contributor to global warming impact due to the use of firewood as an energy source. The highest water consumption occurs during the washing and dyeing stage, indicated that these processes are highly intensive in terms of clean water ash. Overall, the dyeing, wax removal or ngulurut and washing stage are indicated as environmental hotspot in batik enzyme product.
Environmental improvement strategies. 1. Wastewater management. 2. Chemical use efficiency. 3. Improve energy efficiency in wax removal ngulurut. 4. Water conservation rate. 5. Environmental monitoring and evaluation. Next, sensitivity analysis. Quantitative sensitivity analysis was not conducted. The assessment focused on modeling the actual operating condition baseline that represent existing production practice in small and medium batik enterprises SMEs, with the primary objective in identifying process stages that contributed the most to environmental impact or hotspot. Next, and certainty analysis. Particularly those relate to the characteristic of wastewater, solid waste, and air emission at a product stage. This assumptive were developed to realistically represent process condition during the limit available of direct measurement data for waste and emission parameter in small and medium scale industry. Next conclusion. One was freshwater ecosystem mainly dominated by the first and second dyeing process. Two, global warming potential entirely generated from the waste removal chloride process. Three, human non-carcinogenic toxicity predominantly contributed by the first dyeing stage. For marine ecosystem, the first dyeing process and the main contributor. For terrestrial ecosystem, the Higgs impact originated from the dyeing process. Six, water consumptive hikes during the second dyeing and second washing stage. Next, limitation. One, limit unavailable impact inventory data, the Olfise database. Two, incomplete literature data inventory related to process emission. Three, normalization and weights were not conducive to the absence of national reference value. Next recommendation. 1. Dyeing process improvement. 2. Wax removal chloride efficiency. 3. Water conservation.
Okay, that's all from us. We would like to apologize if there were any mistakes or shortcomings during this presentation. Thank you for attention. Bye bye. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.